I think it's pretty safe to say that by far, one of the most mysterious aspects of the Star Wars sequel trilogy has all to do with Rey's lineage and her parentage that's going to all be explained in Episode 9 by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to be a revelation film. It's going to have a lot of twists and turns and surprises. That's going to make us look back at The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens in a different light, which may be a good or a bad thing for the franchise. We'll have to wait and see. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of both Luke Skywalker and Rey sitting in front of each other inside of the Prime Jedi Temple, where it's described that Rey is asking the Force Ghost of Luke many questions related to the Force. It's described that Luke knows a certain secret about Rey's parents, that he learned of during his time in the netherworld of the Force, that he has been keeping from Rey and is set to reveal it to her during their time in the Prime Jedi Temple. It's said that eventually Luke reveals to Rey that during Luke's time in the netherworld, he has learned that the Wills have watched over Rey's parents very closely over the years, especially Rey's father since the death of Rey's mother some years ago. It's described that Luke reveals that the Wills were guiding Rey's parents to something bigger than the Force itself, in which it may imply that that has to do something with the beyond itself. It's described that Luke does not know the full picture as to what the Wills were implying. However, it's safe to say that they were guiding her parents to the beyond. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, what's really special about this is that this is paying great homage to what George Lucas created within the Star Wars franchise. In case you guys are unaware, I really do want to inform you guys on this. The Wills are these godlike beings that watch over all the events that take place in the Skywalker saga, all the way from Episodes 1 now until 9, and other events that took place before and after. So the Wills basically are watching over the entire galaxy and everything that's happening within the universe itself. So what's really exciting about this is that this is really expanding of what we already know about the Star Wars franchise, and I believe it connects to one of the pieces of dialogue that was cut from The Last Jedi, where Luke tells Rey it's so much bigger. What was so much bigger? We never really learned about that because it was cut from the movie. So with that being said, the fact that Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost is able to inform Rey something about her parents, the fact that the Wills were watching them very closely over the years, before Rey's mother's death and before, Rey's father was vanished and had actually vanished and went over into the unknown regions in order to discover the beyond. Now, this really does raise the bar for the Star Wars franchise because now you can see that they're really trying to make Rey's parents somewhat special. In fact, what we have been going over these past couple of days, give or take, is that we do know that her parents were Force-sensitive individuals and were very strong through the ways of the Force. Were they necessarily Jedi? Probably not, but I will say they were probably somebody like the Broom Boy at the very end of The Last Jedi itself. That basically was setting up exactly what was going on in the Star Wars galaxy, is that there are more Force sensitives around the entire galaxy. So Luke Skywalker, delivering this big revelation to Rey, she's probably very much unaware about what the Wills really are. And I believe that this also ties directly into what we went over a couple of months ago about the Force Ghost of Luke Skywalker explaining the Wills to Rey in a specific scene within a mysterious temple, which now we learned is indeed the Prime Jedi Temple. You guys remember that Prime Jedi mosaic that we saw in The Last Jedi? That's the exact temple now that they are going to be inside of course, The Rise of Skywalker. So moving on from this is a great example of Force lore that a lot of fans want to learn more about, right? We only learned a little bit about the Wills so far in canon material, and the fact that a lot of fans have been asking for more content related to the Wills. You can really see how J.J. Abrams is trying to deliver by tapping into George Lucas and his vision. In fact, guys, I wouldn't be too surprised if this was George Lucas and his entire idea, since he is heavily involved in the movie, especially throughout the rewrites of the film for the months of November and December of just last year, and even some of the reshoots that are taking place as we speak right now. So this movie, like I say, it's very mysterious because of the ways that they're going to be using the Force lore, such as the wills, and how Luke Skywalker is actually going to explain it on the big screen, and exactly, what purpose it's really going to serve for Rey's development as a character in The Rise of Skywalker. So Rey's parents were being watched over by the wills closely. The biggest reason, of course, is why. Now, they were guiding them to something bigger. This implies that it is indeed the Beyond. We do know that the Beyond is going to be a very big part of this movie, and it's really going to be used as a backdrop of the plot of Episode 9. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.